Good morning, Pawleys Island peeps. Today is October 26th, 2020, and it is Mountain Climbing Monday here in beautiful Pawleys Island with Dave Clayton. Going solo this morning, Rob. Good morning, Holly. Good morning, good morning. Why is it Mountain Climbing Monday, you say? That's a great question. Good morning, Sherry. Good morning, good morning. Just beautiful. 65 degrees out here this morning. The water temperature has warmed up a tad. It is 76 degrees. I'm going to be talking about you, Dana. It's a National Tennessee Day today, so I'm going to be talking a little bit about mountains. Although this morning, Rob says it's 48 degrees in Greensboro. Goodness gracious. I'm glad you had a great weekend, Rob. So tell you a little bit about the tides today. High tide was this morning at 4:36. So low tide, when you're going to have the most amount of beach today, is just before 11 o'clock. It's at 10:42. The wind is out of the north, so I'm facing it right now. And the waves look like the Gulf of Mexico. They are less than a foot. So this morning when I was surfing, trying to figure out what national day it was today, I saw that it was Tennessee Day, and I immediately had a thought of when I was about 8 years old. In my family, we were from Pensacola, Florida, right? And it is very, very flat in Tennessee. I'm sorry, in Pensacola, it is very, very flat. There are no hills whatsoever. So I was all excited because we were going to go visit our family in Tennessee. And I hadn't been able to really remember what mountains look like. And for some reason, I was so excited about these mountains. I couldn't wait to see hills. So on the way to Tennessee from Pensacola, we'd stop at little places like, I guess, to get gas. And then I guess we used to stop at these rest areas. And there would be, the further north we got towards Tennessee, the more the terrain changed. So we weren't in the mountains yet, but there were rocks and stuff on the side of the road, and I was so excited. I truthfully remember this like it was yesterday, just do you remember something like this? Do you remember, maybe it's the opposite for you. Maybe you hadn't seen the ocean and you grew up in Tennessee and you'd never seen the ocean. And so maybe your family was coming to visit the Atlantic Ocean for the first time. Do you remember how excited you were? So for me, stopping at these rest areas, my parents would lose me because I would say, I'll be right back. And I'd run behind the restroom, wherever the restroom was, and I would run around behind the place and I would find a hill and I'd run up to the top of that hill. And I'd look out in disbelief that I could actually see. I had a better viewpoint. It was different, and it was everything that I had been hoping for and dreamt about, because I was so excited about being able to climb mountains. And then my parents would find me, or they'd see me up there. I'd be screaming, "Hey, Mom, Dad, look at this." And I was on top of rocks. And they were like, "Dave, come on, man. We gotta go." So they'd say, "We're not even in the mountains yet. You've got to come on. You won't believe what the mountains are like." Our next stop. So we get in the car and we keep going towards Tennessee. And when I finally got to see the mountains in Tennessee, I was in awe. And they were too big to climb. All I could do was look at them in disbelief. And I was looking for other mountains like the ones, other hills or other rocks like the ones I'd seen in Georgia on the way to Tennessee. So why am I talking to you about mountains? Why am I talking to you about excitement? So this leads us to the good news today. And that good news comes from Matthew 19, 13 through 15. One day, some parents brought their children to Jesus so he could lay his hands on them and pray for them. But his disciples scolded the parents for bothering him. But Jesus said, "Let the children come to me. Don't stop them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to those who are like these children." And he placed his hands on their heads and he blessed them before he left. Are we still like children? Are you still excited about today? About the foothills in Georgia, the rock that you can climb? Are you still excited? I know I am. I am so excited about the potential of today and of this week and of right now. I am so excited. I think that Jesus, when talking to those disciples at that time, they were like bouncers. At a nightclub. And these children were so excited to see Jesus. and their parents were so excited to show them Jesus. And the disciples had blinders on. So in one of the other places in the Bible, it says that Jesus actually got a little angry towards the disciples and said, "Let the children come to me." In this verse, it doesn't go there. But I think in Luke, he actually says, kind of like, relax, let the children come to me. Reminds me a little bit when they were preparing, when Jesus was going to come stay and Mary was trying to get the house all ready. I think I'm saying that right. And one of them was just ready to like put lotion or oil on Jesus's feet and just spend time with Jesus. And the other one was just trying to prepare the house and just frantically had blinders on. And Jesus said, relax. So on this cloudy morning, when we probably will not see a sunrise, it's getting brighter and brighter. Is the excitement inside of you, inside of your mind, inside of your heart, is it there? Martha and Mary, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Holly. So we could talk about children and go deeper, and we could talk about how they are dependent and how that is something that Jesus wants us to be towards him. We could talk about that, but today I want to talk about the excitement of a child. I want you to ask yourself, are you vulnerable? Are you authentically vulnerable and excited for what Jesus has for you today and what he has, period? Not just for you, but just who he is. It's exciting. He's exciting. So this week, we're going to talk about the children and the different characteristics or the different reasons that Jesus said, let the children come to me. That they are who we're like, we need to be like, the children. And I believe that the first characteristic of a child that God really wants us as adults and as humans to be open and vulnerable about is excitement. So today, that is what I leave you with. I am going to flip this around, and I'm going to ask you again to look at that scripture and ask yourself if you are childlike in your excitement towards your day, towards your Jesus. Everybody have an amazing Monday. Climb those mountains. Don't be afraid to step into the uncomfortable and be vulnerable.